What's up YouTube, and welcome back to the Safe Zone. My name is Cole, or the Master Reactor, and today we are back with another FNMC gaming video. This one is the Rise of Las Nevadas. Now I'm excited to dive into this, but real quick, while I was away on break, we hit 80 subscribers, which is just absolutely insane. Thank you all so much. And while I was on break, we're nearly at 90 subscribers. So if you want to help us hit that milestone, please make sure to hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, leave a comment down below on what you think of the video, what you think I should react to next, or anything you really want to say. I always love reading your comments. But I'm just so excited and so thankful that we are almost at 100 subscribers. Literally a month ago, I would have never thought that I could have gotten this far. So thank you all so much for the support. I am so thankful. But I'm excited to dive into this Dream SMP video. I'm so excited to see where the lore goes next. And I definitely am going to need this recap because it has been a while since I've reacted to one of these. So without further ado, I say we just dive straight into it. That is not it. Let's dive straight into it. The Rise of Las Nevadas.
Ghostbur was gone, and Tommy couldn't imagine the chaos reviving Wilbur would bring. But Wilbur wasn't the only major threat to the server. Far away, a new nation rose from the shadows. An old ally who, in his pursuit of revenge, would threaten to take over the entire server.
I love FNMC Gaming's like cinematic. Wait, that's a really cool visual. Wait, like looks like it's being painted on. That's so cool. Wait, is that what? I remember in one of the animatics I saw that and I was so confused. This must have been what it was supposed to be. Nice. That was a really awesome visual. Oh.
Wake up now, wake up, please, wake up.
Wilbur was alive.
Whoa.
He had been trapped for over
What the
13
heck?
years in limbo. And now, he stood in the ruins of Lemamberg, the very place he crumbled in the cold hands of chaos all that time ago. He was a changed man. A white streak of hair reached down from the top of his head, a different kind of scar from his years
I
of
like
solitude.
this like acoustic backing.
As he looked his friends in the eyes
almost
for the
kinda
first
scary,
time in what felt
but
like eternity,
reminiscent. I like
he
it.
couldn't help but smile. Tommy was conflicted. On one hand, his friend was back. His friend who just months earlier seemed to be gone for good. But on the other hand, this was not the same Wilbur who led them all to revolution. And one could only guess what bringing him back would do to the already unstable server.
Yeah, I
He was
can
the
imagine
happiest
that
man alive, just to be alive. Wilbur had waited so long for this very moment, and it had finally come. He explained how each person has their own individual limbo. Tommy's was a dark, unforgiving void, and his was a train station, cold and lonely. Time passes much slower in limbo, meaning that Wilbur had spent 13 and a half years waiting for a train he feared would never arrive,
Oh, yikes.
making every flicker of light that reached his eyes that much brighter. The sun climbed over the horizon,
It's like a backrooms
and as
level.
the light reached his eyes, Wilbur's first day alive in over 13 years was about to begin.
Dun dun dun.
Tommy began by touring Wilbur around the server. Together, they explored the wide array of changes the server had seen since Wilbur's death. Starting in Lemamberg, Tommy explained how Techno and Dream had permanently
why are the
leveled the
vines
land
there?
with their endless rain of TNT. Next, the two moved towards Tommy's hotel, which was now owned by Jack Manifold, who had taken it over after Tommy's death and had no plans of giving it back.
Yikes.
Tommy and Jack argued for a bit before Tommy convinced Jack to let Wilbur speak with him on the roof of the hotel. They looked towards the prison, the cause of so much pain and suffering. The last time Tommy stood on this roof, he chose to visit Dream one final time.
Oh, yikes.
A decision that ended in his death. And now, he thought about Ghostbur, and how he would much rather be talking to the happy little ghost. He hated Wilbur. He was supposed to hate Wilbur. But something inside him couldn't turn away, and as much as he didn't want to care, he did. Wilbur began noticing memories as soon as he came back. Memories from a time he never knew in places he'd never been. Ghostbur's memories, flooding back as he took in the world for the first time.
Okay, so they do share memories.
He thought back to Tommy's exile, the pain, the manipulation. He saw it all. But it didn't matter what happened back then. Dream had saved him from that wretched place, conducted his train to life, gave him feeling again.
Oh no.
And in Wilbur's eyes, Dream wasn't evil, but the only person unafraid of keeping lesser men in their place.
Ooh, yikes.
Wilbur reasoned that a void remained with his death, a throne left empty, and that everyone, it seemed, was clawing at its feet for a piece of that power. And Dream, he explained, was the only one brave enough to stand up against them, to lay down the harsh hammer of justice on people unworthy of ruling, and that is why they threw him in prison. In his mind, Dream was the hero of the story, and his acts of manipulation and trickery were justified by his pursuit of order. Tommy couldn't believe what he heard. Dream was right. Reviving Wilbur gave him total control over his mind. But no matter how far gone his friend seemed, Tommy could not find a way to give up on him.
Oh, Tommy,
and so,
this is...
differences aside, the two continued on for the rest of the day. And even if it was just for a little while, Tommy and Wilbur felt free once again.
That won't last very long. It never does.
Dream had been in prison for nearly 2 months. Wilbur's throne left cold and empty. But a throne can only stay empty for so long. Quackity stood alone in the dark hall to the final control room. It was here where Technoblade took his first life. But that day, he lost much more than a life. Quackity was at rock bottom. Since he ran for president of L'Manberg, all he did was see the best in people. No matter how much Slat insulted him, used him for power, he always tried to stay positive. So much had happened since then. But of all the paths in his never-ending maze of memories, Quackity focused on one. Something buried deep in his mind, something he hadn't thought of since the day it happened. He began to see it. The podium.
I like
L'Manberg,
how he kept the scar.
Wilbur.
Listen, I understand things are not easy right now. Things are tense to say the least. Elections coming up, everyone's on the edge of their seats. But I just want to get together and just talk to you. I want to pick your brain for a bit.
Oh,
okay,
whoa!
yeah,
This
sure.
is like a
What has
time
made
jump
you do
backwards.
everything you've done up to this point?
That's a big question. I guess it's just protection for my people. I mean, I just want to see them thrive, and I want to see them safe.
Listen, I get it. I think there's just a big difference between you and me, and I think that I like to see the good side on people. I like to think that there's a side of everyone that is willing to work for wanting to see a better future for everyone, and I think that's where you and I are very, very different. See, when I got here, when I got to these lands and I wanted to join L'Manberg, I was told I couldn't. I was told to walk away because I wasn't allowed to join L'Manberg. And to me, that was a lack of belonging. And if I have to become president and tear down some walls in order for no one to ever feel unwelcome again, then so be it.
Your aspirations of optimism are not going to be subject to my nation's security, I'm afraid. I completely disagree
This is
with
cool
everything
seeing
you said.
this background talk.
You
that we never
say
got
everyone
to see
has a
before.
good side, Quackity, and you're right. You're right. Everyone has a good side. But that good side is only there to help themselves. If you want to really help
Yikes.
people, you're going to need power, Quackity. You can make a movement. You can make a resistance, right? You can go out and you can come back and they'll give you a ticker tape parade. They'll cheer for you in the streets, but you will change nothing. If you have a revolution, everyone will hate you. You will sacrifice everything and you will lose everything you've ever had. but you'll come back and everything will be changed. And Quackity, if you want to change things, you're going to need power.
I
And
mean,
power isn't gained from
That is
diplomacy
very
and
dictatorship-esque.
bureaucracy and giant courthouses suspended in the sky, blah, blah, blah. It's gained from swords, Quackity. It's gained from blades. It's gained from steel, iron. Even if everyone has this good side that you're talking about, then anyone who wants to prove it has to show their dark side first. You're going to have to kill. You're going to have to torture. You're going to have to maim. When I look at you, as a fellow outsider, you're not ready for that.
Yikes. This is so, like,
I'm leaving.
well done, well performed.
Times had changed. The Quackity that stood atop that podium was gone. Wilbur had planted a seed, an idea in Quackity's head that was just now starting to grow. He thought about everything that happened, the pain,
Oh,
the
no.
suffering. Wilbur was right. Quackity was beaten down by the world, betrayed by the very people he trusted most. But he was done taking it. He was done pretending like everything was okay. He was done being pushed around, living his life through other people. He wanted power since the day he joined, and now he was finally ready to take it. A storm rages in the skies above. Quackity follows a dimly lit minecart track just outside L'Manberg. Just minutes earlier, he'd found a book from someone he hadn't seen in a long time.
Oh?
He navigates his way through a forest, finding himself at the mouth of a cave. He took a deep breath, as he knew he was about to confront one of the most powerful men in the history
Wait,
of the server.
what?
Or at least what was left of him. And as he found himself at the coordinates described in the book, he stared directly through the ghost of J. Schlatt.
What?
Schlatt, despite being a ghost, was not much different from the day he died. He still held the same confidence and coldness as the days he ruled. But now, he was trapped. Schlatt explained that he summoned Quackity there because he needed help. Being a ghost, Schlatt was unable to leave the cave for more than a few seconds at a time, meaning that unless he got someone to help, he would be trapped underground forever. And that is where Quackity came in.
So does
Schlatt
everyone that
explained that
died
he had
come back
heard
as
rumors of a
ghosts?
book, a powerful book that could give him life again. What this book was or how it could help him, Schlatt couldn't recall. But Quackity knew exactly what he was talking about.
The revived book.
And everything Schlatt needed to walk the earth again sat in chains at the center of Pandora's vault. But Quackity had no intentions of bringing Schlatt back, not after how he treated him while alive. Rather, Quackity proposed a bet. He explained that he was planning something much bigger than the server had ever seen before. And if Quackity won this bet, Schlatt would never be revived and would have to work for Quackity permanently. No compensation. The same treatment Quackity got while working under Schlatt. But if Schlatt won, Quackity would set him free.
Oh,
Schlatt
yikes.
hesitated, but upon realizing he had no other choice, accepted the deal. And so, with everything on the line, the two left their futures to the luck of the draw.
So this is just Vegas, yeah.
But before we get into the twisted world of Las Nevadas, I'd like to quickly thank the sponsor for today's video, The Sandbox. The Sandbox, at its core, is Quackity had an idea the day he fell to Techno. Something that could get him the power he so deserved, the revenge he wanted, and the control not even Dream had been able to achieve. The world he
Maybe people
designed.
should just stop trying
A
to
new
get
nation,
control.
much stronger than the likes of L'Manberg, built on the backs of people with nothing to lose, people like Quackity, people who had seen rock bottom and refused to ever reach it again. And before long, the list was complete, the plans were in place, and it was time for recruiting to begin. And Quackity knew just the place
Those
to
builds are
start.
so cool, man. Like, so cool. Wait, what song is this? Is this Amazing Grace? Oh, no, it's not. So does like Foolish have like a really dark like past? Cause that'd be crazy if he does. Oh no. Oh, that's scary, like the vinyl sound effect.
Hey, I wanted to ask you something. Listen, I've been working on a country, and you probably might have heard of it. It's called Las Nevadas.
Oh, you know, I've heard
have you
some
heard of it?
whispers.
Okay.
Yeah, some,
Alright.
some rumors.
I wanted to ask you, would you like to join Las Nevadas? You're the first person I thought of when I thought of, you know, people to recruit.
I mean, I'm honored, you know, especially, man, I was the first one. No, probably not.
I was
No,
the first
kinda
one.
happy here.
No.
Foolish, no.
Yeah? No?
I
What?
know who you are. You spend so many hours, so much work for, so much of yourself to building this place.
Yeah, like honestly,
But that's
so
all it is.
impressive.
It's just a build. No one comes here. No one has a house here. No one stays here. People really just come to admire and then leave. Foolish. This is an empty shell.
Oh no.
It's gonna
it all comes back to
disappear
manipulation.
in time, and no one is really gonna remember it. And you know what this build reminds me of, Foolish? It reminds me of you.
Ooh, yikes.
You used to be big. You used to be great with everything you did. And now you are nothing but an empty shell. You are to be feared from the outside, but on the inside, everybody knows you were just a builder. And I was hoping at some point that you would realize this after I let you die at the Red Banquet.
What? Wait, you let me die?
Foolish. I was behind those walls, and I could
Yikes.
have saved you, and I didn't.
Oh, yikes.
I watched you die. And let me explain why I let you die. Yeah, take that out. Take that out, Foolish. You're gonna kill me now? I did it
He
for
says
you.
as he backs up.
I let you die because I wanted a better version of you. The reason I let you die is so that you could finally realize that even being the builder that you are right now could cost you your life. You used to be a feared warrior. Anywhere you would stand, people would look at you and be scared. You were someone, Foolish. You were someone. Now you're nobody. And the reason I came to you and told you to join my country is because it's going to be a big thing. And what do I need for a big country? Big people, important people, people with skill, people who know how to do things. But the
Big
reason
people.
I came to you, Foolish, is because I see myself in you. I once also believed that peace was a way to live. I used to want the betterment of people. That was my life morals, Foolish. And guess where that brought me? That brought me nothing but suffering. That brought me nothing but a death. That's the reality of it, Foolish. I was once like you. And that's the reason I let you die, and that's the reason I came to you. It's because you have so much potential.
Interesting
Whether
play,
you want
but
to
just
realize
admitting
that
that he let
now
him die.
or later, that is your choice. You understand me? I'm gonna go now, but you know where to find me.
Jeez.
Foolish was defeated. Quackity's words made him question everything he thought was right. Should he return to his old ways or trust the life of peace he had learned to love? He looked around. Quackity was right. As amazing as this place was, it meant nothing. He began to find himself hungry for meaning, being a part of something much bigger than himself.
No.
Foolish found his way to the border of Las Nevadas. There stood Quackity, smiling intently behind his rigid scar as Foolish accepted the invitation. The next player Quackity planned to recruit was one no one had seen in a long time. A hitman, someone dangerous. Quackity knew getting purpled on his side would be an
Yeah.
even tougher task than Foolish, but he had a plan for that. And following his
I mean,
deal
he
with
got
Purple
purpled on
to
his
take
side
down the egg
for-
at the Red Banquet,
Yeah.
the two reconvened in a nearby building to exchange payment.
Purpled! Whoa! Gee, I was waiting for you all morning. Hey!
Where's my money?
That sounds
I mean,
malicious.
I did everything for you. Where's my money?
Like, oh, friend.
Right. Yeah, no, of course. I would never forget. I would never forget, Purple. You came for your money, and that's what you're gonna get. Come up here with me. Come up here with me. There it is. There's your payment. Everything
Yep,
good?
everything's there. Appreciate it. Thank you for doing business.
Absolutely. Hey, you know what? Because I appreciate your help so much. I have something else for you. Wait up here. Wait up here. I have something else for you. Let me get it for you.
Oh no. What did that lever do?
What? What? It's gone.
That's
Quackity,
it.
was that you?
It's gone. Purple, look at me. Look at me.
That was like one of the
The
coolest
legacy
builds. What?
is gone, and I've taken it from you. That's the last piece of evidence that you were ever here, Purple. That's it.
Give me one
And
reason
you die
why I
along
should
with
kill
it.
you right now.
Oh
Die
no.
along
Oh
with
no.
it. You
Right
die
now, you
along with it,
fucking
Purple.
bitch.
Purple, listen to me. Listen to me right now. Listen to me, okay?
What?
Purple, listen to me. I understand. I understand. You're mad. I understand. You're shocked. I did it for you, Purple. Okay? You have two choices,
What?
Purple.
What?
You have me cornered. You have me cornered, okay? You take my
Quite
life
literally.
and you kill me and you run away with the money and you're gone. And that's it for you. And that's it for you, Purples. And I know how good that sounds right now for you, but listen to me, okay? Your other choice is to join me. Okay?
Join you?
I know that
These
UFO
are
meant
really
a lot to you, and
interesting,
that's why I
like,
destroyed it. Because I
tactics that
knew
Quackity's
that
going
maybe
on.
somehow it would change your mind on how things have been going for you right now. You understand? So, take the money, reinvest it in Las Nevadas, and you can become a part of history. Don't waste your potential in the wilderness, Purpled. Don't do it. It's not worth it. It's not who you're meant to be. That UFO is gone. But if you let it affect you the way it's been affecting you right now, then that will be your legacy. But if you join me, you will be so much more. So take the gamble, Purpled. Take the gamble,
Man, this
and
this
you
manipulation
can change
is, like,
everything.
so hard.
You know where to find me. You know where I am, Purpled. You know where to find me.
Oh wait, I saw the UFO blow up in the late August
Purple
animatic.
ran as far as his legs could take him. Quackity had destroyed the
Duh.
one thing
I
he had
should've known
left
that was
on the
gonna
server.
happen.
His only legacy, gone. He knew killing Quackity wouldn't do anything. The damage was done. And so, for the next few weeks, he stayed alone in a house outside the ruins of Lemanberg. Together, him and his dog lived peacefully, a much simpler life.
I feel like that won't
But then,
last long.
He started to think.
Yeah.
Was this all
No
he
one
was
can
meant
ever
for?
live a peaceful
What had
life
he
on this
really
SMP?
done on the server? Nothing. Through every major event, he was just there, a lonely shadow in the face of a much larger story. Just the guy that was there for that one thing, the guy everyone had forgotten.
Yikes.
He thought of Quackity, the fame, the power he would hold with his stake in the biggest country the server had ever seen. No one would forget his name now. No, he would be idolized.
It's
And when
not how it's
faced once
gonna
again
work.
with the gamble, Purpled went all in.
Clever wordplay. I like it. Oh. I was just,
Fundy, my good old friend. How have
Oh.
you been?
What?
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 Here, Fundy. Take a walk with me. Take a little walk with me. Don't you enjoy the fresh air?
How are you here?
What do you mean, how am I here, Fundy? I found you. You're a hard
This voice
person
is
to
making me
find.
so uncomfortable.
But I'm glad I found you. I think that's the most important thing, that we are here together now.
What is this place?
You should know it better than anyone, Fundy. What do you mean, what is this place? You don't remember what this place is, what it means?
Is this like in the dystopian future?
Come on,
What's
don't
happening
tell me
here?
you already forgot.
What?
Fundy, do you remember when we tried to kill Technoblade and
How?
we failed? That's where I got my scar.
What is
It's just-
happening?
We tried.
Fundy, what's that over there? Oh, that is...
Oh.
Is that what I think it is? Do you remember all the great memories
What
you
is all
had
of this
in the
doing
van?
here?
Is Quackity
This is
like
crazy.
brainwashing
Oh
him?
my gosh. The amount of meetings we didn't have inside this van. I'm gonna show you
The
something.
amount of
Come
meetings
with
we
me.
didn't have.
Fundy, oh my god, come look at this. Look up.
Ooh, the
It's a
echo effect.
tower.
The amount of battles we fought from up here.
You remember that, right?
Yeah, I do.
Remember all
No.
those things we did for our country? It was great. But you know what, Fundy? Those memories don't matter. All these structures, all these things we've built together, it's here now, but it's really gone. And none of it matters,
Well-
nor will it ever matter. Fundy, if you think about it, you don't matter.
Oh, yikes.
Do you see how the sand in the wind slowly deteriorates the structure that we stand upon right now? That's what's gonna happen to you. But it's not gonna be sand and wind, it's going to be time, Fundy.
What the?
You're
I
gonna end
don't-
up alone. You're gonna
My
let time
gosh.
take you away and you're going to die. And no one's going to remember
This
you.
is like hard. This is like serious.
Just like it happened in Lemanberg. But you know what, Fundy? It doesn't have to be that way. And I can help you.
What
I
do you
have
mean?
big plans, Fundy.
What are you saying, man? Like,
Fundy, all you have to do
I'm
is
so
join
confused
me.
what's happening, but I'm so
I'll give
scared.
you the tools to succeed. I'll give you the tools to finally be someone. Because you're nobody right now. Take the tools that I'm giving you, Fundy. I'm gonna give you 10 seconds to decide. 10,
Oh my gosh.
wait.
8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2,
What? Bro.
Fundy! My good old friend! How you been?
What?
The sun beats unusually strong on the streets of Las Nevadas,
Bro.
its glare almost as bright as the promises
My-
Quackity has made. He looks
My
upon his
brain.
first citizens, every one of them outcast from the world they
Wait,
once
who is-
loved. And the other guy, who just kinda showed up.
Oh.
Together, they would be a part of something much bigger than themselves, the most powerful nation the server had ever seen. But there was one more member among their ranks.
Oh, Sam.
Someone who is quite possibly the best ally their nation could have. The key to Quackity's true objectives, Sam. Since Dream was locked up, Sam had felt trapped in his own prison, unable to leave Dream's side for more than a day or two at a time. He became lonely, obsessed with his duty of keeping Dream inside.
Yeah, I remember this.
But Quackity, he found, gave him a chance to take a break from life behind bars. For he had a new opportunity, a chance for Sam to make his mark on the server, something much more lively than a prison. And Sam, desperately needing an excuse to breathe, accepted the deal and started construction. Project Nevadas, he was told, would be the biggest thing in the history of the server.
It looks really good. And Sam
Towers
built all
reaching to the
that.
skies, lights bringing life to the empty night, a city fit for a king. But the real money, he explained, would be in the casinos. Hidden behind the bright lights, loud music, and luxury suites would
Wait,
be
was that?
control. Debt, simple favors. One thing leads to another, and before long, the world owes Las Nevadas their lives. And finally, there can be peace, respect, or death, and at the center of it all would be them. On top of the world and the people bowing at their feet. And after months of planning, gathering, and building, it was finally complete.
That looks so sick.
And
though.
alongside his associates, Quackity knew
Congrats.
it was just a matter of time before Las Nevadas would
So
control
who is?
everything. Wilbur found something the day he came back. A note, left in a chest in the very place he was revived. The book was titled Project Nevadas, and was written
Oh
to
no,
Wilbur
that's like the most dangerous
by
person you can
Quackity.
recruit.
Curious, Wilbur perched himself on a flat ledge looking over Lemanberg and opened the book to read the note. It read,
My dearest friend Wilbur, you were right all along. I won't make the same mistakes twice.
Immediately, Wilbur knew exactly what Quackity was talking about. He gathered his things and Tommy and left for Las Nevadas. Upon arriving, they were shocked at what they saw. Towers, lights, it was straight out of a dream. And as Quackity noticed the two overlooking the country, he couldn't believe it as well.
Wilbur? Oh my God, Wilbur! Wilbur, you're alive! How do I look? How do I
I'm
look,
glad.
fellas?
Are you the concierge of this area? Like the cleaner?
This is so nice.
This is mine.
Wait, you?
I own this place.
Oh, so you're
What do you think?
you're like a president then?
I'm the president, man.
Whoa.
I got your
Oh,
book.
right, you
so
got it.
dodgy.
Oh, that explains. That's why you're here. Okay.
So that's the invitation
Wilbur.
to work alongside you. I assume I accept. I accept. I'd love to come in.
That was not an invitation. I'm sorry, Wilbur.
Oh.
Wilbur, my nation will not be subject to your unpredictability.
Quackity, I don't know what you mean about my unpredictability, man, but like, listen to
Oh,
me, look at me,
yikes.
look at me. I am your servant. I am at your service. I have run countries. I've done everything that you will need in a leadership role, Quackity. Even not in leadership. Quackity, you're making a mistake,
Wilbur?
man. You need to let me in. You need to let me be a part of it.
Wilbur, listen to me. I saw what you did to Lemanberg, and I'm not gonna let Las Nevadas have the same fate as Lemanberg. And again, I appreciate you coming to my country. Wilbur, I'm
Doing
sorry.
what?
This is
Well, look.
Sorry.
can't let you join. Do you
Am I
Tommy?
allowed? Or is it just Will?
Well, Tommy, you and me could probably talk for a bit.
Sure.
Tommy, don't listen. Tommy,
Yeah.
don't
What do you
listen.
want?
Big Q,
I
look.
have the
So this
pulse.
is
You're
this
right.
your land, Big Q? Where I'm standing
This
now?
is my land, Wilbur.
What about
this
here?
is mine.
What about here? Is this your land?
This is my land. This is
Tommy, come
mine.
with me. Tommy, at my side, please. What about here? This,
Okay.
this edge of the sand right here. Is this your land?
This is
That's
mine.
like a nice.
Okay.
That's really cool
think
that
it's
they made like
What
an
about this
artificial
light green area?
desert.
Is this
It's
your
an
land?
Eiffel Tower. Oh my god, this is power. Wilbur, we have
Wait,
found
whoa,
paradise.
I didn't even
wanna
see
live
that.
here
Tommy,
or
Tommy,
near
look at
or-
me.
Yeah.
This is
This is paradise, Tommy. Big Q, do you own this?
What are you doing? What are you trying to do here?
You're not answering my question. You're being
That's
petty.
what I'm trying to do.
You're being petty, and I love it. I love
I'm
it.
not being petty. I'm
I
not being
love
petty,
it.
Wilbur.
Big Q.
Yeah,
it's
no,
been
Wilbur's definitely the one
lovely
being
seeing
petty.
Seeing your nation. It's a brilliant nation. I would know. I'm a bit of a connoisseur of them. But you obviously like your money, Big Q, and you of anyone would know. What's the point in capitalism without healthy competition?
Oh, hi
Welcome
Tommy.
to our new headquarters, Tommy.
You're joking. This is how you're gonna play, huh? This is what you're gonna do, huh?
I must admit.
Am I infringing?
Wilbur's
on you,
always out
Quackity?
for
You scared?
conflict.
You know what, Wilbur? You're right. And I'm ready for all the competition you can bring me. But you know what, Wilbur?
Mhm.
Congratulations on the opening ceremony of your new, soon-to-fail country.
Since the very beginning, Wilbur and Quackity never really seemed to get along. And now was no different. Quackity, once
Yeah,
told
they're
he
two,
couldn't
like,
join
alpha
Lemanberg, was now
personalities.
giving Wilbur the exact same treatment in Las Nevadas. And just like Quackity gave Wilbur competition in the election, Wilbur wasn't going down without a fight. And in the middle of it all was Tommy, torn between the nation of his dreams and friendship. He had to choose. Wilbur and Quackity
I feel
fought
like
each
he's
other
gonna choose
relentlessly
Las
to keep
Nevadas.
Tommy on their side. Quackity toured him around his great nation, while Wilbur reminded him that family and safety were much more important than flashing lights. Tommy went back and forth. The man who focused more on executing Technoblade than helping him in exile, or the man who destroyed Lemanberg and left the people alone in its ruins.
Yeah, not
A
great
difficult
choices.
choice. But Tommy could not turn his back on Wilbur,
Ah.
joining him in paradise.
That's dangerous. Wilbur is dangerous, Tommy.
But it wouldn't be Tommy
so
that
is
would help
Quackity, I
Wilbur
guess.
stand up to Quackity.
Oh?
Rather, another player.
Rambo?
After Wilbur proposed his idea of selling burgers to compete against Quackity's casino, Filza was uninterested, instead suggesting Wilbur ask Rambo, who happened to live next door. Reluctantly, Wilbur made his way to Rambu's house and asked him to join Paradise.
Oh, Rambo lives with Filza?
Rambo agreed, and for the rest of the day, the two worked on building and gathering supplies for their new company. But they were not the only ones preparing for competition. Over the past few months, Quackity had noticed Tubbo and Rambo building an outpost looking over Las Nevadas.
I was wondering what that
Concerned
structure
with the
was in
subtle
background
act
a
of
while
aggression, Quackity and his associates warned them very bluntly that if they refused to back down, their outpost would be moved for them.
back. Oh, yikes.
Tubbo and Rambo stood their ground, explaining that their outpost was going nowhere. But over the next few weeks, Tubbo started to think. Was it really worth it to fight Quackity, the owner of the biggest nation on the server, and his old friend? No. He began to realize that since Lamamberg was destroyed, his purpose on the server disappeared. He used to be
no.
president, someone with power. But now, other than Snowchester,
He was
he
no
wasn't
one.
anything special. And
Yeah.
so, when Quackity invited him to join Las Nevadas, Tubbo agreed without hesitation. The next day, after showing their completed van to Quackity, Rambo and Wilbur followed Quackity to his restaurant for a quick tour. But to their surprise, Quackity was not the one running the restaurant.
Oh,
The two
man.
were shocked to hear that Tubbo, Rambo's best friend and Wilbur's partner since the start of Lamamberg, had gone behind their back and joined the enemy. Angry,
Yikes.
Wilbur and Rambo made for the door and headed back to Paradise. Both of them agreed that Quackity needed to be put in check. He was driving people apart, manipulating people into joining his cult of a country, and most importantly, he was taking over the server. Deep down, Wilbur knew that friendly competition would not be enough to take down Quackity. But he had another plan. Together with Rambo,
Don't you say he's
Wilbur
gonna
would
blow
take
it
care
up.
of the problem the
No!
only way he knew how.
Wilbur, no! You can't do that.
Rain falls through the night sky onto the cold ground below. The prison seems unusually dark as Quackity stares through the heart of its black stone shell.
Ooh,
But it's
nice,
not the walls
nice,
he seeks to destroy.
Nice script writing.
He notices Sam approaching from the prison entrance. He had one more proposal, one final plan left to be set in motion. Quackity explained that even though Dream was in prison, he still had power. That book gave him power. And no matter how many walls stood in his way, keeping
That's a
him
cool
inside, he knew they could never kill him. And so, Quackity reasoned, if he wasn't going to give up the book willingly, they would have to do some persuading. Sam didn't like the idea. The last time he let someone visit the prison, they died. And the second he
Oh,
let someone
yeah.
inside with weapons, the security of the prison would be immediately put at risk.
I mean,
But
he could just
freedom
not, like,
sounded too sweet
raise the
to
lava
pass
and just
by.
keep them in there.
It all came down to one question. Did Sam trust Quackity? And after some thinking, Sam decided to move forward with the plan. And so, the two made their way inside the prison for Quackity's first visit with Dream.
Wow, you can really tell how much Sam trusts Quackity if he's gonna let him do this.
Dream stared in disbelief, fear for the first time since he entered the prison. He screamed for Sam to help, but Quackity reassured him that Sam would do nothing. He needed the book from Dream. It was the last bit of power Quackity didn't have. He had people, land, influence, but the one thing that stood between him and total control was that book. It didn't matter what he had to do. He would never stop until he had it. Dream watched as Quackity showed him exactly what weapons he would use until he got what he
that's
wanted.
dangerous, putting them on
He
the
wouldn't
wall.
kill Dream, but he would keep him as close as possible, every day coming back to turn his life into a living nightmare. But still, Dream didn't say a word. That book was the only thing that kept him from certain death. He couldn't give it up, or they would have no reason to keep him alive. Days turned to
That's
weeks.
true.
Dream continued to suffer at the hands of Quackity every single day until Quackity was done waiting. It was clear his plan wasn't working, and he was starting to get impatient. He began to think. He had Sam in his pocket, the entire prison at his disposal.
Oh,
Why not use it? He may not have been able to get the book by hurting Dream, but what about someone else? And Quackity had just the person in mind.
Oh no.
And that fateful day, he came to Dream with a different request. To write a note,
That's
asking
Technoblade's
someone
house,
to
right?
visit. One of Dream's only allies
Yeah.
on the server, a man who had disappeared for months on end, the cause of so much of Quackity's pain and the biggest threat to Las Nevadas, Technoblade. And with nothing left to fight back, Dream got to writing.
Oh, man.
Since his first day on the Dream SMP, Techno has despised government. He believed that power was destined to turn even the nicest, most positive people bad, and that true peace and freedom could only be found when no one had power over others.
I mean, I'm
He fought
honestly on
wars,
his side
betrayed
here.
friends, destroyed nations to protect these ideas. But still, government would always find its way onto the server. He knew he needed a way to stop the problem before it happened in the first place. And so, he got to planning.
So there
He
weren't
imagined
any,
a force of like-minded individuals dedicated to
overpowered
stopping
people.
the rise of tyranny on the SMP. And with the help of Philza, the two officially established the Syndicate.
Hey,
The Syndicate's
there's a song
job was
about that.
simple: seek and destroy any potential government. And because of their anarchist ways, the group would have no leader and all members would be encouraged to act on their own free will. Both Techno and Phil knew that two people would not be enough to make a difference. But lucky for them, Techno had some people in mind. He began with Nikki. After her sudden deviation from L'Manberg before the Doomsday War, Nikki had gone off to start her own city underground.
Oh, dang.
And because of her lack of affiliation and utter despise of government, Techno offered her a seat at the Syndicate. His next recruit was somewhat of an obvious choice. Since his home in L'Manberg was destroyed, Rambo had agreed to move in next to Techno and Phil.
Okay, so yeah.
Over
Now
the
we're getting
following
the
months, the
explanation.
three grew very close. So when Philza and Techno offered him a spot in the Syndicate, he was more than happy to join. Together, the four players, as well as a fifth who is yet to be named, vowed to
Oh?
take down any trace of government and keep anarchy.
Wait, who would
For
be
good.
the fifth member?
Throughout the history of the SMP, the members of the Syndicate have all done their part to make sure government fails to last. But what they didn't see coming was the unintended consequences of their actions. Following Dream's imprisonment,
Is it
a vacuum
Dream?
of power was left on the server. The very same Wilbur had explained to Tommy the day he was revived.
No, it wouldn't be Dream.
And this empty throne was the only reason Las Nevadas was able to succeed. In the shadows, right under the Syndicate's nose, Las Nevadas had grown to something whose size rivaled even that of L'Manberg. And that fact alone was about to put the Syndicate in jeopardy.
Oh no.
The day was June 1st, Techno's birthday. The members
Happy
of the Syndicate
birthday!
gathered outside his house for a celebration. Fireworks exploded in the sky. Cake sat on the table outside. Everyone was ready for a break from chaos. Techno had just returned from a month-long training mission in the wild and was ready to catch up with his friends. But in the middle of their conversation, Techno noticed someone watching in the distance. And even through the darkness of the night, he knew exactly who it was. Right away, he left the party and made for the nearby hill, wondering what would bring him all this way. He climbed the hill, and as he found himself at the top, he stared into the eyes of Quackity, the man who attempted to execute him, the man who had been scarred forever at the swift slash of his pickaxe. And history aside, Quackity delivered the message.
Yikes.
Listen, I don't want to waste your time. I come here for something pretty important. You know, Dream. He's in prison.
Oh, I've heard of that guy.
Right. I have been visiting Dream recently. Just a few days ago, actually, I went in and made a little visit, and he told me that he wanted you to visit him.
Yeah, no, I
What
wouldn't
did he
trust
say?
that.
He was kind of vague with the wording, but he said that he wanted to finally call out a favor or something like that.
Oh yeah, I know what he means. You're telling the
What is
truth,
it?
right?
Of course.
Techno,
Because
listen.
I would hate to be lied to on my birthday.
No, I'm not lying to you, Technoblade.
All right.
You know, I said at the moment I came here, I'm glad we
So
left
what
our
are they
differences
doing?
in the past.
You know, that's true.
That's a good
That's
thing.
true. You know, the past is the past. It's all ancient history.
Yeah, at
The
the end of the
two
day,
of us.
scars fade away, Techno.
$50.
That's true. That's,
Hold on.
I should probably be headed on my way now. It's a long trip ahead of me. I'll talk to you soon then. Have an awesome birthday, and I'll see you soon.
Have a good day.
Techno was conflicted. Should he really believe the man who once tried to kill him? Or should he risk betraying Dream, who he still owed a favor from when he saved him from execution? As the people left the party, he continued to think. Why would Dream want him to visit now? What reason would Quackity have to lie? He didn't know. But one thing he did know was that visiting Dream would be way too interesting an adventure to pass up.
And good
so,
content.
Techno made a few last-minute preparations, just in case things went downhill. And a few days later, as the sun began to pierce the cold Arctic air, he said goodbye once again. He crossed mountains, forests, oceans, all the while thinking of what he was about to do. He wondered what his old friend was like now, how much he had changed from his months of isolation. Until, for the first time, he stood consumed by the shadow of Pandora's vault. Somehow, even in the light of the sun, Techno could feel the darkness and pain, desperately trying to escape those unbreakable bars. But he had a favor to repay. And so, he made his way through the portal, beginning his visit with Dream. Techno stared at the wall of lava. One press of a button and he would finally get to see his old friend again. And if anything, Techno was just happy to catch up. The lava began to fall. And Techno,
I feel like I should
happy
know
as can
what
be,
happens
was surprised to see
because of
Dream
animatics.
paralyzed by fear.
But I don't remember.
Confused, Techno nodded to Sam and began to move his way across the divide.
Yo, Dream! Dream, what's up?
Techno, no! No!
No what?
Quackity, it's a trap! It's a trap!
What?
Techno.
Eh? What about Quackity? Dream, you
He's
gotta
been torturing
explain.
me. I didn't write that note.
I'm not gonna lie to you, Dream. I kinda had a feeling he was lying, but I kinda had to visit anyways, just to see how you were doing, get to the truth of things, you know?
They're working together.
Who?
Sam and Quackity.
Hey Sam, how long do I have to be here before you let me out?
I think you could do with a nice long stay with Dream.
Aw,
You're
man.
probably the main threat.
Too late.
To Dream escaping, aren't you? Because the two of you have worked together
I
before, and
would never defy authority. All right, I love authority.
well, I think we both know that's probably not true.
Everybody will tell you how much
yeah,
Technoblade
you know
loves
what?
authority.
Take
Sam,
a while.
could you just send the bridge back?
No.
If you could just send
No,
send that bridge back, Sam. That'd be fantastic.
The two of you, like
Sam,
you said, you're gonna have some great catching up.
Sam, you hit the wrong you hit the wrong lever,
the good
Sam.
news is, I think the two of you are gonna have plenty
hit
of
the
time
wrong
to
lever.
do it.
Sam, I can't help but notice the lava comes down a whole lot faster. Comes
think
down
you
a whole
should,
lot faster than
you
it.
can stay here.
Sam, come on, Sam.
Enjoy your time.
Sam, this is not doing much to change my political opinions. All right, well that was nice. How's it going, roommate?
Oh,
Techno
no.
and Dream, two of the most powerful players on the server, once feared by everyone but each other, now sad, with nothing, in the loneliest place on the SMP. Dream
At least they
was
have each other
devastated.
now.
For months, he had dreamed that maybe one day Techno would be able to break him out. Maybe he could leave this terrible place. Maybe he could see the world again. But that day, every last bit of hope Dream had was gone. The only person who would ever be able to free him was now
No,
locked
there's
up
still Wilbur,
at his
right?
side. The prison became his limbo, the days wasting away and no one with the power to save him. And now, he was really sure he would be stuck there forever. But Techno was not as convinced. Somehow, through the whole situation, his spirits had not dropped a bit. And right away, he asked Dream to write everything he knew about the prison inside of a book, hoping that maybe the two would find something that could help them in their escape. And sure enough, it wasn't long before Techno had come up with a plan. Something that was impossible with just one person. But with the two of them working together, there was a chance it might work. Because of the Elder Guardians trapped in the prison walls, everyone inside the prison is given extreme mining fatigue. This means that every block of obsidian in the prison would take just over 24 real-life hours of mining to break.
What?
The reason Dream hadn't tried this already was that nearly every block in the cell set off an alarm if broken. And even if the alarms didn't sound, all it would take is one look from Sam and his escape plan would be ruined.
Yeah.
And it just so happened that the one block hidden from view was one of the only blocks in the cell not fitted with an alarm. And before long, the plan was finalized.
They're digging out.
Dream would start to claw his way through the obsidian floor, only stopping if Techno alerts him that Sam is coming to check on them. And once they broke a block, the process would repeat until, eventually, they would dig through the bottom of the prison and swim to salvation.
What?
And so,
No way
Dream
that's,
got
no
to
way that
mining,
would actually work.
finally starting to believe that maybe, just maybe, he could live once again. Days turned to weeks, and weeks to months. Dream began to feel freedom, so close yet just out of reach.
That's where the water
Block
is too,
by
right?
block, the unbreakable walls of
tell with their
Pandora's
shaders
vault
on,
fell
but-
at the relentless swing of his fist, until...
Oh no. Oh no.
Sam.
Something's gonna go wrong.
Yo, what the f is wrong with you? What the f is wrong
Hey,
with you?
Hey, it was a good
Okay, you know
attempt.
what?
It was
I
a
was
good
gonna ease
attempt.
into it. I was gonna ease into it, but now I'm not. Now I'm not gonna f***ing ease into it. This is what's gonna happen, okay?
Why are you
I have
here?
one thing only. That's what I'm about to explain, Techno.
The
So,
annoyed, like,
allow me to
side
explain.
look.
Hurry up.
You know what? I would appreciate it if
Only
you were
because you have
as far as
very,
possible. You know
very
what? You know what?
sharp
Just go as far as
weapons.
possible. Just no. Just yeah, beyond the line. I've been trying to get this revival book for the longest time, Dream. Is today the day you're gonna give up the book?
I've told you again and again, I'm not giving you the book.
Well, you might want to reconsider, because this guy right here is your only chance at getting out of prison. There's two of you, probably some of the most strong people in the server, but you have nothing on your side at this point in time. So Dream,
Bruh.
hand over the revival book,
Bruh.
or I'm going to kill Technoblade. If I kill Technoblade,
Don't do it,
you
Dream.
know that it's gonna
Don't
be
do it.
the last shot you get of getting out of here.
Don't do it, Dream.
If I give you the revival book, you kill me. You might if I give you the revival book, you might as well be killing me and Techno.
True, true. Where's our leverage after he gives you the book? You just kill us instantly.
That's true. You know what? You have a point. So what would
That's
happen if I
true.
just killed you both right here, right now? That revival book has brought nothing but problems anyway. So I think I'm just gonna do it. I think I'm just gonna kill you both. I might as well just get
No,
rid of you both right here.
let's
What
be
can you do
rational.
about
Let's
it?
talk about
What
it. Let's talk
exactly?
about it.
What
Stop,
exactly
stop.
can you even
Wait.
do about it? What
Let's be
exactly can you do about it,
What if-
Dream?
what if-
Hold on,
Calm
Quackity!
down.
What if we talk it over? Give us time. Give us a
Yeah,
couple
come
weeks.
on, man. Let's
Give
be
us time.
reasonable.
Time? A couple weeks? What
Negotiation.
exactly would I give you a couple weeks for? See, this is a problem, Dream, and I didn't even
Dream's trying
realize
to
this
stall
until
the dig
Technoblade
out.
brought it to my attention. He's right. You will just revive him if I kill him. So all I have to do is kill you both. But listen, I'll reconsider because I'm in a good mood today. If you just
Fine.
hand over the revival book, nothing has to happen. I'll leave out of here. You do whatever you want. I'll work on my anyways, okay? All right, Technoblade, listen,
Yeah, I
you got to
understand you,
convince this
bro.
guy to hand over the book.
Dream, you should absolutely give him the revival
I
book.
love
Okay, no, I'm
Technoblade.
done playing games. You know what? Let's just
No, wait.
I'll start off with Technoblade
Wait, that
and then
kinda
I'll
hurts,
go on
bro.
with
Let's
you.
calm down.
So let's
Let's
just
calm
do that.
down.
Let's just do that,
Quackity,
shall we?
I'm
Kill
not
Technoblade,
giving you the
and then I'm
book,
going to
Quackity.
kill you. Good.
There's
So
nothing
let's
you
just
can
get
do.
working with it.
Wait, don't
Let's just
kill-
get working
wait,
with
wait,
it
wait,
and
wait.
let me get rid of
Sam!
the two biggest headaches
Sam,
that
stop
I have
him!
Sam, I'm
in
being
this
abused.
server.
I'm being
Sam,
abused.
Sam.
Let's just get rid of the two biggest headaches that I have in this server then.
Quackity had reached his breaking point.
Yeah, I can
For
tell.
months, he had planned, recruited, manipulated, tortured, all to be turned away by Dream every day. That book was the last thing he needed to take control over the server. He could see it already, just over the horizon, his perfect world. Finally, he would never be overlooked. He would never be cast aside. Things would for once be how he wanted them. And there would be peace. But as
there
always,
wouldn't be.
the one who stood in his way
There'd be revolution
was
again.
Technoblade. Since that day in L'Manberg all that time ago, Quackity had hated Techno. He tried for months to do the right thing, punish Techno for the crimes against the nation, but still he ended up dead. Not Techno, not the true criminal, him. He was blinded by vengeance, an anger that lied patiently inside him until that very day. And in the same way Techno did it, with the same pickaxe that scarred him, a wound that would never heal, Quackity would finally, for the first time in the history of the server, do what should have been done a long time ago. Kill Technoblade.
No
Technoblade,
way.
I'm gonna tell you one thing. One thing I went through was death. When you killed me, you think I was just gonna forget about it? You think I was just gonna walk away? You think I was just gonna walk away and just forget about it?
That was the hope.
I'll tell you something, Techno. I'll tell you something. All right. In the same way you did it, I have a pickaxe, and I'll put it through your teeth, Techno. I'll put it through your foot.
Wait, what?
Techno was free. His oldest friend on the server, Philza, had saved him from certain death. And in
Good
his
timing.
hand, Phil held the will Techno had given him before he left for the prison. And seeing that book, Techno smiled, as he knew his plan had worked. 3 months after Techno's visit, Philza was devastated, sure that his friend was gone, as no one who had spent that long in prison would have any hope of getting out. And so, finally accepting his friend's fate, he brought upon the courage to read his will. But as he scanned the first page, he was shocked at what he saw. He scrambled through the snow and over to the syndicate meeting room. There was still hope for Techno. One final plan that would save him from the wrath of Quackity and Sam.
Wait, that's the thing that Dream
He
used in
moved
the
to the back
manhunt,
of
right?
the chair. Every member in the syndicate had their own Ender Pearl stasis chamber. This effectively works by having the player throw an Ender Pearl into a pool of rising water and letting it sit there. This way, if any member needed to summon anyone immediately for a meeting, all they would have to do was close a trapdoor, and the pearl would collide, teleporting the player from wherever they are in the world to their seat at the table. And so, Phil stared, his friend only one click away. And just seconds before Techno's death, Phil closed the trapdoor, and he was set free. After greeting an
That's
elated Phil,
crazy.
the two made their way through a tunnel and into Techno's secret bunker. And as the door fell to the ground, Techno saw light for the first time in 3 months. But as much as he wanted to take a break from the madness, he knew his friend was still inside that terrible place. And he could only imagine the terrible things Quackity was going to do to him.
Oh yeah.
He needed to think of a way to break him out. And lucky for him, Dream had given him countless books of information about the prison and everyone who had anything to do with it. But those books would be nothing compared to what he was about to find. In one of the books was a set of coordinates.
Oh.
And as Techno began making his way to the location, he realized exactly where Dream was leading him. All that time ago, the first place him and Dream had ever spoken on the server. He traveled across the world, through forests and oceans until he stood at the foot of the mountain. He wondered what Dream could have possibly hid at the top, but he had no time to sit around and wonder, and so he began his ascent.
Very dramatic. I like it. It's a really cool mountain too.
All right, this is the part where I end the stream. It's really climactic, isn't it?
Wait, no, that's the end. No, bro. That's really funny. If that's how we actually ended that lore stream thing, that's so funny. Oh my gosh. I need to talk about this one. Okay, so Technoblade was thrown into prison for 3 months, and then was just taken out of prison with the Ender Pearl thing. And now he has the blueprints for the prison. Now, this was a while ago, so I feel like something definitely happens. And I feel like in one of the animatics, I don't want to go back and rewatch them now that I'm starting to get back to this, but I definitely remember something about Technoblade saving Dream, so I assume they're going to break out, but I have no clue the context or how they're going to do that. So I'm so excited for the next part of this to come out. If you're excited, please make sure to hit the subscribe button down below, so that way you don't miss when my next reaction comes out, because I cannot wait to watch that. But while you're down there, make sure to hit the like button. Leave a comment on what you think I should react to next. I am always open to new suggestions, and I love reading your comments. And I am just so thankful for hitting 80 subscribers. Thank you all so much. We are so close to 90 subscribers, and it's crazy that we've come so far in such a short amount of time. So thank you all so much, and I will see you all next time. Goodbye.